Playoffs with a 33-39 record. They lost to Memphis in that first play-in game. Memphis went on to beat Golden State and were crowned the 8th seed. And San Antonio, rare to miss playoff action. 2 in a row. Come on, with Pops.
Well, yeah, you talk about the top of the tree as Azubuike gets a travel before that beautiful dunk, but it's not the last time we're going to see one of those. But you talked about Pop. As we look at this play, Azubuike holding off the defense, shuffled his feet a little bit. He had a jump stop, but he went 1-2, one foot after the other instead of both at the same time.
Got to wonder if Pops isn't finding this game to watch tonight. Of course, coaching Team USA as they try to battle back to win a medal in Tokyo. A shot rebounded down. The Jazz with Hughes, number 33. The players except for Dakota Mathias, all 4 of the 5, basically a lot of G League and Jazz time last year with Quinn Snyder.
You'll see a lot more maturity in this Jazz white team. Guys who, as you just said, have been around for a bit, some with some NBA time as well. You'll see, I think, a lot more patience on the offensive end and hopefully some good defense.
Mathias misfired on that shot. He's a member of Team USA Select, and yeah, he can shoot the ball, and he didn't hesitate putting up his first shot. Out front is Jeffries for San Antonio. We're scoreless. About a minute 15 in, and that ball is coming back.
Well, Jarrell Brantley did a nice job defensively there. And speaking of a guy who has developed over the last few years, you talk about Jarrell Brantley's attention to details on the defensive end, but also has become a better three-point shooter.
Steal on the inbound. And a run into the rim. Trent Forrest out of Florida State. Last year, 30 games with the Jazz. He averaged 10 minutes. They're looking to back up. As per reports, Mike Conley signing that 3-year contract with Utah. But the question in Salt Lake is, who's his backup?
Well, I thought Trent Forrest showed some fabulous moments when he got some minutes.
3 ball off the mark by Elijah Hughes out of Syracuse. They're looking for more consistency out of Hughes. Those words spoken by the head coach Brian Bailey of this Jazz Summer League team. Forrest on a drive inside, denied, and San Antonio grabs the missed shot rebound. Justin Turner the other way to Jeffries. They're going to go corner 3. That one takes a bounce out to Azubuike.
I'm telling you, I was in the house. You're going to put up some shots. He's 0 for 3 right now, Wieskamp is, but he's getting good looks.
Nice crowd on hand tonight. They want to see these 5 players on the floor. New to them is Mathias. We'll also see Kyle Caslin and Jawan Evans, Matt Mooney. Josh Primo, we've been told, will not play tonight for San Antonio. He was a prize 12th pick out of Alabama last week.
This is an interesting lineup with Doak, with Azubuike, because it's a smaller lineup. And he's having to defend players who are out on the perimeter.
How about that move? Mathias.
It's a pretty move.
Takes it inside, scores his first 2. 4-0 start for the Jazz. There's a foul on the drive down low. Jalen Morris out of Malloy driving inside.
Well, that time Elijah Hughes was chasing chasing Morris to the basket, but Azubuike was there. And so those are the communication times where you have to talk to each other so that you don't pick up that foul.
Morris' first attempt, air ball. To his journey probably is kind of typical for a lot of players who are trying to find their way. He's had 10 NBA games with the Hawks and the Bucks, and then he played in Greece. He's been on 4 G League teams, and yet the dream rolls on for Jalen Morris.
Yeah, and every path is different for every player. No contact there. Azubuike wanted that foul, but No call by the refs.
Morris the other way off the missed shot by Azubuike. Forrest starts to break. Jarrell Brantley can run. That time dropped the handle. We got a high-speed first quarter here. The Jazz quick hands, and it'll belong to Utah. Lost out of bounds by Renfro.
I like the pace, though. I like the pace of this game. Both teams wanting to take no time and get it back down the court.
Matt Mooney on the floor out of Texas Tech, and Juwan Morgan has checked in. Forrest and Azubuike out. Good look by Brantley. And the Jazz start 0 for 3 from 3. 2 of 8 overall. Turner against Brantley.
Good on-ball defense by the Jazz right now. Getting that shot clock to tick down.
Jazz doing a good job. They force up a late shot. Backside rebound pulled in by Wright. Or call that Hughes, pardon me. Got a foul on a reach in. Renfro, his first.
Like Jarrell's development. He's got a great basketball body. He's improved his ball handling very well, and even more importantly, he's improved his shooting. So I love the path he's taking right now.
Well, he told us in our talks he's his biggest critic. He also was paid a great compliment by the head coach of this Jazz Summer League team, Brian Bailey, who said, you know, he's one of the most versatile players we have on the Jazz roster.
Yeah, no question about it. And we've seen signs of that. We didn't get a chance to see a lot of G League games, but when he's with the Jazz, when he got minutes, he came in and didn't make a lot of mistakes.
Let's go!
Nice jump.
Labissiere from Kentucky via Haiti. He was the 26th pick, T, back in 2016. You know, he's been with the Kings and the Blazers 148 games and trying to resurrect a career with San Antonio.
I like the way his name rolled off your tongue, too. Labissiere.
Labissiere. So Brantley scores his first 2. 6-2 Utah. Totally a totally different game than we saw in the opener, where Memphis just took it to the Jazz blue squad. Jazz get a steal. Hughes, Brantley winds up for 3. That's an air ball. And the Spurs have it. 4 minutes left.
It was a good look. I mean, Jarrell wished he had that one back.
There's Matt Mitchell out of San Diego State, a 4-year player for the Aztecs. Labissiere. Turner trying to turn that corner, shut down. Labissiere went for 3 and just beat the clock. Brantley the rebound, running the show on a dribble drive into the paint. Matthias back to Mooney.
Great ball movement by the Jazz.
Little circus shot, count it down. Oh, baby, baseline bucket. And Matthias gets a roar of approval from this hometown crowd. Has 2 buckets early, and Dakota Matthias will be at the line.
First beautiful ball movement but Matthias gets in there. Nice little circus shot for a bucket right here. A little up and under move. You love to see that. That's what creates those kind of shots, those kind of opportunities. It's really good ball movement. The defense doesn't get a chance to set. Clock's not running down.
Zach Norvell, number 18, is checked in. Mathis on a handoff to Mitchell. He'll drive it up. 2 shots coming on a foul by Utah.
Matthias tried to come across to block that shot by Mitchell and swiped him upside the noggin.
First one's good. Brian Bailey, Summer League head coach. And Mitch Johnson. We had a good talk with Mitch for San Antonio.
Yeah, it's amazing. Not really amazing, but as expected, these coaches really talked about how they want these players to teach them something that they don't know about them. Right? They want them to come out and read the game and the situation within the structure of what they're running as coaches, and teach them something that they can build on.
Well, it basically comes down, I think, that these coaches are more open. Instead of trying to make a player, let the player be themselves. There's a nice bounce pass down low. Morgan can't finish. Spurs surround the bucket. Mitchell on a break down low. He'll take the shot. It's up and good.
That's a nice shot by Mitchell. I thought Jarrell Brantley should have looked to take that shot. By the time he passed it to Juwan Morgan, they both were close in the paint, and the defense was there.
Blocked down low. San Antonio in typical Spurs fashion, playing some tenacious defense. Right on your hip, T. A couple of bucketfuls. There's another one. Fans out and about.
Making me hungry.
Azubuike back on the court, rips down that rebound. There's Forrest inside, took the bump, but was able to finish. He'll be at the line for a three-point try.
Well, great aggressiveness by Forrest right here. Nice read, nice English off the glass. I'm also watching this Azubuike-Labissiere matchup. Two bigs on the court, two really decent shot blockers. And how their teammates use them as well on both ends.
2 minutes left. Nice pass down low, Labissiere. He's got some jumps.
He did, and that time, Doak, Azubuike helped on the drive. And it's tough when you have to get your teammates to cover you. But when you have an athlete like Labissiere, it's a tough move right here. You see Doak stepping up to help. Defense can't recover to get back to big fellow Labissiere.
Devontae Green on the floor for Utah, out of Indiana, was in Greece just a year ago. Forrest on the wing, chased by Mathis. Up top, oh, nicely done. Doak puts it down. That shows the athleticism of Azubuike.
It does, and it shows great execution by the Jazz. Mathis was holding Azubuike on that screen, but Azubuike was able to get away and time that lob just perfectly.
The Jazz, when speaking to Brian Bailey, the head coach, he says, look, he's athletic, but he's got to impose his will. And I think he just did. But it's got to be in a consistent way.
Exactly.
Juwan Morgan got down the floor, but picks up the foul.
Right here. Doak with the lob. Great timing for the big fella. We love to see that. And then the near dunk right here. Aggressive to the basket. Juwan Morgan doesn't allow the basket to go in, but picks up the foul.
Stephen Domingo out of Cal. It's a great story, by the way. He made it by a local player tryout throw back in 2019, and he hooked up with Orlando's Lakeland Magic. But again, those are stories you love. The passion, the desire to go out and be in the NBA. And how do you do it? Well, I'm going to try it and try to make it through a tryout.
That's right. We talked about different paths to success. And that journey sometimes it takes a lot of patience, a lot of hard work.
They'll get a lot of minutes in the NBA on that floater. Chris Paul is a magician at it. Mike Conley does it so well. But Forrest with a floater and a 7-point first quarter.
Well, that's a difficult shot right there. Talk about the floater being difficult. when you're facing a different direction and you float it in.
Norvell with his first two. Forrest goes baseline, feeds it out. Morgan. Air ball 3 by Green. There's a whistle down on the floor, down on the baseline. Norvell just picked up a foul on a very short shot clock. 17 seconds to play, and that's going to put Morgan, Juwan Morgan, at the line.
You saw Green shoot that air ball off a pick and roll. If you can really learn that shot, not a lot of guys can do it because it has to go quick. When you dribble that basketball, it comes up in the shot pocket. You don't have a lot of space to shoot that shot. So you really have to gauge as to where you are on the court. Not that it was a bad shot. It looked bad because it was an air ball, but it could be a dangerous shot if you can really learn how to shoot.
Morgan makes 1 out of 2. Norvell going for the 3. That ball jumps out and the horn sounds, and the Jazz have a 10-point, or pardon me, they're keeping track of threes. There has not been one made in the first quarter. In fact, a combined 0 for 16.
Yeah, and we talked about the importance of making that shot. Both teams have had some really good looks. I think we'll start to see some go down as these players get a lot more comfortable.
Labissiere with a rebound. Mathis goes back to work, kicks it out. There's the 3-point shot. Another miss by San Antonio. Good look, however, by Turner.
When we talk about misses, San Antonio, none of San Antonio's starters have scored. They're 0 for 11 right now.
Matthias tried to skip a pass into Azubuike, and that equals a turnover. Spurs run to the corner. Now, you talked about talking. You didn't hear much of it in the first game of the night. You hear a lot right now with San Antonio.
Yeah, and I hear a lot with the Jazz white team as well. And I think these guys that you see out here have been through enough to know that communication is key, especially on the defensive end.
Matthias uses that Azubuike screen. Jump shot off the back of the iron. Forrest has it off the rebound by Doak. Shot clock hits 7. Forrest on a floater, up and good.
I love his patience. I love the way Forrest doesn't rush it. Knows the shot clock's running down, but takes his time and gets a really good shot. Nice floater over the top.
About 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting in this first half. They tried to lob it down low, and the pass ended up into the hands of Paul White of Utah. Azubuike the rebound. They reset it out front. White takes the 3. Good. First bucket from downtown.
He's got nice rhythm.
In his 14th season, which is just really amazing as he got better in this Jazz system. And then Rudy Gay, again, by per media reports, has signed a contract as a free agent to join the Utah Jazz. That brings length off the bench. And I think the Jazz are trying to right the wrong of what they saw in round 2 of the playoffs when the Clippers went small ball.
No question. The Jazz trying to get better, and I believe that they did. And you've got 2 guys who have some history with the Grizzlies, right? I mean, Rudy Gay and Mike Conley. But I think when you talk about more scoring, we know what Mike Conley can bring, but Rudy Gay, he's a guy that's been around and he can put the ball in the basket.
Norvell misses the shot off the break. Azubuike a couple times through has felt like he's been fouled, and you just still gotta run down the floor to play D.
Yeah, that's the learning experience right there. You don't have time to argue a call. It's not going to change. One, keep that ball above the numbers. Don't bring it down where smaller players can get their hands on it.
Drive it inside. San Antonio looking for some space. The Jazz haven't given much space to San Antonio. Wieskamp gives up the shot. I'm waiting for him to let one fly. Their second round pick out of Iowa. Nice ball movement out front. 3 ball comes up short from Paul White. Turner crosses over. Inside floater. Up and in.
Beautiful move. You absorb the contact, but you continue the shot, and even with that off the glass.
Turner's 23. Played his college ball at Bowling Green. There's Wieskamp. Drives inside, blocked by Doak. Now they're going to call it goaltend. Doak has a Buki. He looks healthy. Thurl, you can jump. An ankle injury back in February benched him for several months as Wieskamp jumps for the rebound. He's 6'6", the rookie out of Iowa. He's got the ball out front. Ball comes loose, good hustle. Jarrell Brantley dove on the floor for it, and they're going to call time. San Antonio, but wins a bronze. Thurl on the beam. She climbs back on a 4-inch piece of wood and gets it done.
Yeah, well, you have to also be proud of her teammates too, who stepped up in a moment that when they didn't have her leadership.
Jazz get a breakaway. Caslin resets out to Brantley. Nice spin. Pushes it up a little strong. Jazz stay with it. Boy, buckets are tough to get here in this first half as Wieskamp comes out with a rebound on a loose ball.
Yeah, good hustle by both teams, defensively and offensively. A lot of 50-50 balls, a lot of rebounds coming off. You don't have your 2 bigs in there to gobble things up, so you got to work extra hard.
Brantley through his hands, picks it back up just past the 5-minute mark. Daquan Jeffries is on the floor for San Antonio. That ball jumps out. So the 5th turnover by Utah and 3 by San Antonio. Low scoring first half, 22-14.
A pretty decent defensive game. Again, not a lot of threes being made. Not even a lot being taken. As one goes down right here for San Antonio.
Right on cue.
Does it.
Nat Mitchell. He's got a 6-point first half. That was San Antonio's first 3 ball after going 0 for 13. And the Jazz are 1 of 12.
Jarrell Brantley struggling right now with his shot. I think there are times when you can be a little too unselfish. He's got that great body. He needs to put that to use underneath the basket.
Hughes is 0 for 3. Right back at you. Jeffries. He played 44 games. He's been with Sacramento and the Rockets. That's his NBA experience. And he's another undrafted player out of Tulsa. And the Jazz get one from Juwan Morgan.
Beautiful shot by Juwan Morgan. 2 defenders, one coming from each side. He was able to get that shot off on kind of a finger roll before the defense could get there.
Spurs look inside. They go outside. Mitchell with a jump shot, rolls out, and then tap back up and in. So you stay with it, and the reward is a bucket by Renfro. He was also acquired through a local player talent tryout before that 21 G League bubble. So a couple of players who just decided to go for it after college. Boy, Juwan Morgan cartwheels as he tried to steal it away. Mitchell on the 3-point line puts it up and drops it in. Courtesy of a couple of bounces.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of activity before that shot. Guys rolling on the floor and stepping over each other.
Morgan stops a 14-2 run by San Antonio with that 3-pointer. He scored the last 4 for Utah. Now the threes are dropping. Now the threes are dropping. Justin Turner from downtown.
Good communication out there. Both teams doing a nice job of talking. Now Jarrell Brantley gets it on the action ball.
Brantley was 1 out of 6 from the floor and 0 for 3 from 3. So Brantley with a 5-point first half. And the Jazz retake the lead of 3. They once led by 12, and the Spurs rallied back to tie it. Here's Turner with just over 2 minutes left in the half. He'll pull the trigger. And now you can't miss. And a timeout by Utah. I tell you, Niang grew up really in front of Jazz fans. And that 3-ball was key to his success.
One of our favorites too, though. Just we know about his play and when he was hot from the 3-point line and other things he did. But as a person, as a teammate, he was just awesome. And so, really, those reports end up being true. Just wish him the best, and we'll see him when he comes this way.
Matthias with an offensive rebound. Oh, there he is. See, you should have ran out there. You could have.
I thought about it.
At 6'11", you could have easily handled that.
You know, in youth basketball, they always look at me when that ball gets stuck.
Go get it.
Yeah, I'm way up in the stands. They could be waving me down. Mr. Bailey, can you come get this? Don't they know I'm 60 and I have a negative vertical?
They're going to jump it. Azubuike with Renfro. And the Jazz have it. Trent Forrest has a 9-point half. He's got the ball, and the Jazz have a 1-point lead with 1:30 left. Tapped out. Nice hustle on a reach in by Renfro. Ooh. It's going to be an offensive foul. Trent Forrest took a shot. Or that, pardon me, that was Hughes.
Yeah, it was Elijah Hughes, and it was a great play. Because if I'm not mistaken, yes, he's talking to Azubuike right now. He's saying, my bad on the lob, but he comes down and makes a great defensive play and saves the bucket.
Hughes steps behind the 3-point line, puts it up. Norvell the rebound. Close game. Jazz by 1, 30-29 as we hit a minute left. Mitchell puts up a 3. Doak, right place, right time, and Brantley runs it front court for the Jazz. Got a block. That's going to be the call. A couple of Spurs take a spill.
A little bowling going on down there. But I thought Jarrell Brantley got lucky on this play. Although the defense was moving towards the right. I think Brantley has enough in his repertoire to even pull up right there in the lane.
.28 games played last year. And Phil, I think for a lot of these players on this particular squad, Utah's white team is, you know, we saw them in cleanup minutes last year. Maybe 3, maybe 4. If the Jazz had a blowout game, maybe up to 6 or 7 minutes. But it's hard to really get a feel for what a lot of players are and what they want to be when you're just jumping on the floor cold in the final couple minutes of a ball game.
Yeah, and you know where a lot of their progress is made is in practice, right? When they're practicing with Donovan Mitchell and they're practicing with some of the vets. That's where a lot of their maturity is going to come.
Oh, beautiful transition off the block. San Antonio gets a hammer down by Daquan Jeffries.
Yeah, Coach Popovich would be proud of that play. Great defense on one end and not wasting any time, getting a high percentage fast break bucket on the other.
If Pops is watching, he's making a note right now. Jeffries at 6'5" out of Tulsa. How about that on the other
end? And that's the timing I was talking about. Teammates getting to know each other, knowing where to put the basketball. That's great development for Azubuike.
Well, the Pops is taking notes. Quinn Snyder is as well. There's a turnaround at the horn by Mitchell. And the Jazz and the Spurs they go 7-4, and Juwan Morgan with a 6-point first half.
You know, no one really stepping up and being the guy, but when you think about these two teams' philosophies, the Spurs and the Jazz, it's about the team, right? It's about a lot of guys succeeding with what they do.
Wieskamp misfires, and I think when you get down to it, there's a lot of similarities with the way these two franchises have built their teams.
No question.
I mean, the Jazz are that team concept, and about sharing the ball. It's about defenses. Doak goes up top and slams home his 6-point. He had 9 rebounds in the first half to go with his 2 buckets. But, boy, it's really amazing how Pops does his thing and how Quinn Snyder and the Jazz front office does theirs.
Yeah, nice floater right there. But I really love Trent Forrest's game. He's going to be a great pro because he plays like he's been there before. Great timing with him on that Azubuike lob a couple plays ago.
Lean-in shot just off the mark by Brantley. Here comes Turner the other way. Runs by Hughes. Tough shot in traffic. Jazz clogged up the paint, and it's out of bounds.
Right here, Trent Forrest just taking his time, drawing the defense in, finding Doak right there for the lob. Just great unspoken communication and connection between 2 guys. You're going to see a lot of that from.
Forrest across the timeline, chased down by Turner. Well, what a very fast first step. Now Brantley in the passing lane. Picks off the pass, a Spurs turnover. No looker. Dakota Mathias.
Had a good look at it.
Daquan Jeffries, left to right hand, back to his left. He bumps, and a charge is called.
That's a great defensive play.
Hughes came over and got on the spot just in time.
Well, he jumped the screen. He didn't get hung on the screen. He jumped it knowing where Jeffries was going to be. Doesn't get any better than that on the pick and roll defense.
Mathias back out to Forrest. He'll fire up a 3. Confident shot right there.
No question about it.
12 for Trent Forrest.
So you talk about that guy for either team who's going to step up and really make his mark in the second half. Right now, it's been Trent Forrest for the Jazz.
San Antonio, good look by Jeffries from the corner. Forrest again pushes the ball to Brantley. Brantley having his way. A quick 5 for the former Seminole from Florida State. Turner kicks and tries to hit a 3. Azubuike with a rebound. That's 11 boards for Doak. Brantley in the paint. Tough shot. Glass comes off the rim.
Brantley has had some really nice looks. He's getting a little frustrated because he knows that pretty much all of his shots have been good looks. They just haven't been able to fall for him. But he's done a good job on the defensive end and not getting wrapped up into just shooting.
Well, Brantley has hit just 2 of 10 shots.
They're trying to get Wieskamp open.
But that's block shot by Doak. Mathias gives it up. Brantley on a lob up top. That ball pops right to you, T. Nearly. Doak shaking his head after a miss dunk. He would have rattled the rim had he put it down.
It was a pretty miss, though, wasn't it? If there is such a thing. I just like watching Trent Forrest's body language, defensively and offensively. Just he looks comfortable out there.
Hughes fills the paint, forces a turnover. Forrest on a runner, tosses it over his shoulder, and the Jazz missed an opportunity off the hand of Mathias.
But great job by Trent Forrest, pushing the tempo, drawing 3 defenders.
San Antonio, nice runner. Daquan Jeffries. Hard to believe, undrafted out of Tulsa back in 2019. He's a big body, 6'5", about 225. Mathias. Jazz, you notice, Thurl are trying to drive and score.
Yeah, Elijah Hughes doing a really nice job of not wasting any time getting to the basket to get a great shot.
Hughes scores his first 2 after an 0 for 5 first half. San Antonio drops it a couple off the hand of Justin Turner. Five and a half, just past the 5.5 mark. Brantley Hughes, you could hear him call for it. Matthias with an offensive rebound. Another good look, and Turner with a rebound off the backside. They'll bring it into front court.
And I saw Azubuike wanting a post up down there. Had his hand up, and Jazz kind of went away from him. So he's got to find other ways to get baskets.
Renfro missed a wide open three. That ball deflected, saved by Jeffries. Nice hustle. And then the Jazz come right back, and Brantley pokes it away, gets it back from Forrest. Forrest for three, puts it up and in. 17. Trent Forrest is happy.
Right, he's done it 4 times, and so there's a lot of potential there. And it'd be interesting to see how the Jazz end up using him. But again, he's got a lot of talent if he can stay consistent.
Labissiere, turnaround jump shot, good look, comes off the rim. Brantley, another rebound, poked away on his way down the floor. Good hands, quick hands by Mitchell, and the reward is a layup on the other end.
Yeah, you just have to remember, if you're Jarrell Brantley, the play's not over. Right, you've got hands everywhere. You've got to secure that basketball, especially after a nice defensive play.
Matt Mooney on a Texas Tech on the floor. Brantley continues to put the shots up, but they just are coming up short. He is now 2 of 11.
Good help by Juwan Morgan right there on the mismatch.
Travel, good patience by the Jazz defensively, putting some pressure on San Antonio.
Right here, you got to steal, but you give it up for another steal and a layup for the Spurs.
Drive baseline and a little fall-away jumper by Mooney with the right hand. Matt Mooney, 6'3", 200-pounder, scores his first 2.
Bad timing on that.
Turner leaves it into the paint. Labissiere. Timing was off, Thurl. It was there, but came up short. Got a loose ball foul.
Starting to see a little fatigue with both teams. You know, with Summer League here, you're not sure if, everybody's in tip-top shape. But this is an opportunity for a lot of these guys to get in shape as this Summer League continues after Utah.
Now down to Las Vegas, and there's a lot of hoop to be played there in a 10-day time frame. That's Green on a drive. Devontae Green for the Jazz. The foul is on Labissiere. So Green has yet to score in this game. This is the front end. Well, the NBA app will bring you the game to you. Follow your favorite teams, keep up with the latest news, and watch live and on-demand games. Download the NBA app tonight. You can hashtag That's Game. Green 1 out of 2. And the lead is 10 for Utah, 49-39. Now they've outscored San Antonio Thurl in this third quarter, 15-8. Johnson turns the corner. Little Euro step inside and scores a tough 2.
That's a tough shot, as you said. You're driving in. You have a Euro step and you take a little bit of a hit and still are able to finish. And Chicago, they're not messing around.
No, they're not.
A player like Zach LaVine on the team, matched up with DeMar DeRozan. That's some pretty good scoring right now. Zach LaVine doing well on the Olympic team right now.
Juwan Morgan drops a 3. 9 points for Juwan.
When you talk about mid-range games, DeMar DeRozan is one of the best at it in the league.
A lot of movement in this very short off season. Hard to believe, crowned a champion, the Milwaukee Bucks in late June. Here it is August, and camps open up and will be playing preseason ball in the first week of October.
Crazy, huh?
That's Caslin. Kyle Caslin out of Xavier of Ohio with his first bucket of the night. 54-41 Utah. Shot clock down to 3. Labissiere, turnaround jumper. High arcing shot. Oh, caught the rim and drops in.
Have a 7-footer with that kind of touch that can score on undersized defense. It's a great asset to have.
Out front to White. Mooney gets it back. Shot clock at 10. Devontae Green, hook shot.
No, he did.
Count it, and he did.
He threw the old school hook up there. The little fella did. It really is a virtually unstoppable shot. If you can release it, the timing is good. You bring it out away from the defense and follow through on it. Anybody, even you, Bowler, you can pick up that hook shot.
Think so?
And use it. Yes, sir.
I'm going to stay after and try it. So Green with a 3-point opportunity. And Azubuike checks back in for Utah. Green with 4 points all here in the third. Utah's largest lead now 14. Labissiere hands it back now. Utah's really pushing the perimeter defensively, and the shot comes up short.
Yeah, probably not a good shot by Norvell. I know the shot clock is running down, but you had a few more seconds to at least put some space between you and the defense. You had to push that one up.
Forrest picks it up past midcourt. Pick and roll, ball stolen away. Trying to find Azubuike. Norvell. Labissiere puts it up. It was down and came back out, saved, and the Jazz come back up with it with Caslin. Bump, no foul. He stayed with it against Mitchell T.
Yeah.
And he muscles home too.
Yeah, nice absorption of the hit and continuing to follow through the offensive play before that. A guy like Azubuike needs to practice that pocket pass. He likes it up high. That's just communication with you and your teammate.
Mitchell spins out of trouble, found space. White tips it over to Forrest. And the Jazz will play for the final shot here in the third. Forrest with 5 to shoot, down to 4. Passes out. The 3 is up at the horn and down. Devontae Green with a 7-point third. And the Jazz open up a lead of 19. What was Bob Lanier?
22?
22s.
Yeah.
It's a lot of toes.
Makes my feet look small. That's a lot of toes.
Start the fourth quarter here. The Jazz ended the third on a 13-2 run. Forrest has been in command of this team all night long, and that's a beauty. You put that one on the highlight reel as Forrest put it right on the rim for Azubuike.
That's the athleticism that Azubuike can bring. That ball was a little off to the right. He reached out and grabbed it and pulled it back towards the rim for a nice dunk.
Inside Morris, the Jazz shut down the paint, tipped away by Forrest, and there's 8 on the shot clock for San Antonio.
That's what I've really been impressed by with this Jazz white team. As you look at that, we'll look at that dunk in a minute, but the defense clogging up the paint, not allowing the Spurs to get in the space they want to.
Good look, just came off the back of the rim. Mitchell took a look at Azubuike and disrupted that shot. There's a lob down low to the big man. Caslin now, dribble drive for the Jazz. Another off-balance shot comes off the mark, and a nice rebound by Daquan Jeffries. Wieskamp, short.
Well, Wieskamp just can't seem to find it. He's had a few opportunities inside. I think he scored his first, maybe an only bucket.
Off a goaltend.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 1 of 7.
But he is a good shooter. He's just got to find that rhythm.
Wieskamp there for the rebound off the miss by Forrest. He'll bring it into front court. Renfro patient, tried to thread the needle. Another turnover. That's 11 for San Antonio. Jazz have given it up 12 times. And now we'll get a timeout call at 1 o'clock Mountain Time on NBA TV and KJazz.
Been really impressed with Trent Forrest and his leadership with this group, especially in the second half.
Forrest.
That's a veteran move.
Big time.
That's a guy who knows where he is and the time on the clock, and just the knowledge that he has enough time to shoot that kind of shot.
Morris back with a little floater in the paint. Jalen Morris scores his first two. Trent Forrest, talking to Brian Bailey, the Summer League head coach, is I want him to organize the team. I think he's been really organized. The way he's played tonight, Oregon with an easy 2.
Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen that leadership, calling the plays, making sure everyone's in the right place.
19 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds for Forrest. Rebound jumps out to Devontae Green. It was tight at the half. I should say tight. As another 3 drops now for the Jazz as they begin to warm up. Green with 10, all here in the second half. But it was only a 3-point game, Thurl.
Yeah. Well, it really is credited to the playmaking ability of Trent Forrest just on that last play. Knowing where Green was right at the top of the 3-point line and finding it.
And Jazz led by 3 at the half and then up 19 after 3. And they've outscored San Antonio in the fourth here, 9-2. So Forrest goes out with 19 points and Elijah Hughes checks in. Moody runs with Turner. Morris, nice pass down low. Spurs just cannot buy a bucket. There's a high floater. Good look. Morgan with a rebound off the back of the rim.
And you said it, San Antonio has had some good looks. Credit the Jazz's defense for one. But the Spurs have to find a way to knock those shots down. At this point on the rim.
Matthias impressive. He'll take a shot, falling to his left, and knocks it home. Dakota Matthias, first bucket since he dropped 5 in the first quarter.
I like his game. I mean, he's always busy, right? He doesn't stop moving, even when he doesn't have the basketball. He doesn't try to go too fast. He just takes some really good shots. There he is.
Baseline J goes down for Wieskamp. You know, he was a top 5 pick for the Jerry West shooting guard of the year. And you can understand why, shooting 46% from 3. No block out T, and Juwan Morgan scores his 13th point of the night.
Yeah, I think Wieskamp could be, he looks like a younger, maybe thinner version of a couple other shooters in the league. Duncan Robinson for one. Talk about a guy who played D3 basketball and just signed an extension to stay in Miami. But I think Wieskamp can be that kind of player with some maturity and some minutes.
Turner on a breakaway off a Utah turnover. Wieskamp, by the way, he's got that crew cut going. He's kind of a throwback with the Nets.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, again, per media reports, all this, I tell you, as Twitter is on fire with reports. Hughes from the corner. Rebound by Domingo for San Antonio.
Well, there's one thing to have, obviously, Olympic pride for your country, but if you're part of the Jazz Nation, it's really great to see how many guys, a part of the Jazz Nation, are out there competing in the Olympics as well.
Wieskamp the assist as Domingo flick of the wrist and drops a 3. You know, the Jazz started this quarter 11-2 run. Since then, the Spurs go 9-2. Juwan Morgan back inside out of Indiana. You know, the word on Morgan, too, and I would agree, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's very methodical in his process of playing.
Yeah, and that's the plus side of him. You know, he's an undersized big, but again, he uses his body well. Not terribly athletic, but he's got a great knack for the basketball. And he can stretch the floor and knock down the three as well.
I think Domingo's found a spot on the floor.
Yes,
off this wing. Here's Hughes. Floats it up. That one jumps off the rim. Labissiere. Ball movement. Morgan got caught flat-footed in the paint. Didn't know which way to go. And an easy two inside for San Antonio.
Well, Morgan got caught between Labissiere, who was behind him, trying to decide whether to go for the block. And just like you said, got caught indecisive and flat-footed.
Matthias with 10. Played for Philadelphia last year. You know, the word again is he can shoot, and he's proven that tonight in his first game with Utah. Mooney with a rebound. Under 3 minutes left. 80-58 Utah. Mooney drives inside, kicks it out. Morgan comes up short. Mooney offensive rebound.
Great ball movement.
Jazz patient. They find the shot, and Hughes hits the three. I don't care if it's partially torn or torn. You've got a lot of work to do coming back.
Oh, no question. You know, I was very fortunate not to experience any of those kind of major injuries, but you know, medicine's a lot better today, and guys can come back from it. But also, don't forget the return of Klay Thompson.
Right, good
Golden
point.
State.
Yeah, Golden State's going to be really interesting. I think the East, there's a lot of teams that have improved. Labissiere, good look, misses on that 20-footer. Well, 2 minutes left. The Jazz in this second half have made 7 threes to really pull away after just a 3-point lead. Brantley, bad pass as Labissiere fronted as a Buki. San Antonio couldn't connect or convert on the other end. Here's Hughes as he goes for three. Labissiere rips down a rebound, and back we come with San Antonio.
Yeah, you know, Labissiere can be a really nice player. A little inconsistent on the shots, but he's got a nice touch. Maybe because this is, you know, the first game, like right there, had a nice push shot. Maybe a little fatigue is set in as well, but for a stretch big, he's got some game.
What do you think he's jumped around?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think some of that is, you know, what other coaches see in him based on what they need for their system. But when you look at a player through a particular lens, you can see the potential is there. It's a matter of, you know, what kind of plan he's on himself to make that improvement every year.
You make a great point. It's a system league. I mean, the Spurs have their system, and of course the Jazz have theirs as well.
Mooney's doing a nice job of penetrating to the basket, getting his shot off quicker than a shot blocker can get there.
I thought San Antonio's method is real simple. What Mitch Johnson told us, we're looking for players simply who can pass, shoot, and dribble.
Yeah. In simplicity,
well,
right?
I mean, that is simplistic, right? I mean, that's basketball in its simplest form. But, you know, I asked him really the way the Spurs built their championships. Pops doesn't really like to number his players. Quinn Snyder doesn't either. He just wants basketball players.
Yeah. And Pop has really evolved with the game as well, right? I mean, he's been around a long time, longest tenured coach out there, and he's been able to evolve with the players and not limit them to something that they're not, but develop them into great players.
Ball deflected out of bounds with 24 ticks left on the clock. So we've seen 2 games tonight. One dominated by Memphis, and now this game in the second half, particularly thorough, dominated by Utah.
Yeah, a lot of really good execution. There's Mooney again, too. Just his ability to get past the defender and find that rim quickly.
He's had 3 stops on the G League Tour. Memphis, the Canton Charge, and the Raptors 905. And the Jazz want to give him a look. He's played well in the second half. Mitchell on a floater. And the clock runs out on San Antonio, and the Jazz improve.